Our group decided to research and discuss the societal issue of gender equity. In the sports industry, there are many problems with inequality where women have been treated unfairly and unequally since the 20th century and are still fighting for equality and equal pay today. There may have been some advances with this issue, but it is still a serious problem in today's society. There is a large wage gap between men and women in the sports industry where men are paid much more for playing the same sports as their female counterparts. Men's sports have more marketing and promoting opportunities than women's sports, causing more focus to be aimed towards the men. The women's athletic training rooms and facilities are not as nice as the men's because they have less equipment and services, and they also have smaller rooms and equipment. Women athletes don't get as many benefits as their male counterparts. Some examples of this are that they get less insurance and no maternity leave. A wage gap between men and women doesn't necessarily mean that there is gender discrimination in the work industry because there are many factors that determine the wage gap in business. Companies pay to match the skills, experience, and competence of a person, so if you lack these factors, you'll get paid less. There are many different factors that can determine why there is a wage gap between men and women, and it is not solely based on gender. It is proven that women who act like men in the work industry do get paid more with less of a wage gap between the two genders. Women's skills that match men's allow them to get paid more. Women view family as more important than their work and they leave to take care for their children. Men, on the other hand, make sacrifices to make money because they want to ensure a job and salary. Men get paid more because they take their jobs more seriously than women do.
Feminism is still relevant in today's society. Just because laws have been passed giving women the right to vote and be seen as equal to men does not mean they are. Society is still misogynistic, and that is because it is still being taught and is still a problem today. One example of the relevancy of needed feminism is women's reproductive rights getting debated and taken away by men in office. And in some cases, we seem to be moving backwards and decreasing women's rights when women should be able to do what they want with their bodies. Another example of why we need feminism today is the amount of violence against women and how normal it is in society. Women are told to stop acting or dressing a certain way in order for men to act right instead of teaching men how to behave. Women do not deserve any violence or harassment for just existing. While feminism is a great way to push for equality, in some cases, inequality is more beneficial. In many cultures around the world, women and men are held to different standards and treated differently, and their views on women's rights are traditional yet still valid. Women play different roles in different religions, and in many religions, it is very important that women and men are seen as different. They have different purposes for the family and each other, and that is not a bad thing, but a wonderful thing to them. Women are also treated differently than men in other cultures, not just religions. Women have traditional roles in the family and certain jobs they must do. These traditions are passed down from mother to daughter, and they are greatly valued and cherished. Everyone has their own views on their roles, and it is important that those should be respected.
In the business industry, women are treated lesser than men, and men run the majority of jobs that relate to business. Women as a whole fall behind when it comes to job promotions and achievements relating to economics. Women fall behind in economic achievement compared to men, as the article states that the US ranks 27th among the world's developed countries in terms of women's economic achievement. When it comes to jobs, there's a glass ceiling that prevents women from being promoted to higher ranks or management positions. A much larger number of men hold managerial positions in corporations compared to women. The Equal Rights Amendment is unneeded because equal rights are already protected by federal and state laws. The ERA may also lead to unpopular outcomes, such as the elimination of programs that assist women, the prohibition of gender-based laws and regulations, and the establishment of grounds for constitutional protection of abortion. There are other laws that protect women and promote equal rights, such as the 14th Amendment. This amendment provided women with equal immigration rights, as well as more general freedom for women as a whole.
Be part of the change for gender equity by treating women equally and holding others accountable for their actions. Help fight and advocate for gender equity and educate yourself on the issue and its history.